Millennials and Gen Z are gambling like crazy, mainly men. Yeah, I mean, it's always been a thing that when times are hard, people start gambling. Like outside of the internet age, right? Even before this, in areas that are repressed money-wise, people go gambling because it's the idea of like, I don't have much to lose anyway. Maybe I could turn what little I have into something, right? There's that thought of like, I could hit it big. And a lot of those people are already like down on their luck and they feel like they're not losing much anyway, which they are, but they feel like they're not. So they're like, you know. But yeah, when people are in a bad spot, they're like really likely to do that. But that's always been the case. You go look at like where casinos are and how a lot of like lower income areas historically were filled with people that would fund those casinos. So you'd have some rich people come in, some high rollers like fly in from wherever and do that thing, but a lot of the regulars were people without a lot of money, just gambling everything away, you know, because they felt like they didn't have much anyway. There wasn't anything they were saving for. They're like, I'll never be able to buy a house as long as I can make rent, then I'll just gamble and hopefully I'll hit it big one time. Then I can quit all this, right? And that was like kind of the mindset. So yeah, since the dawn of time, I've noticed that like when times is hard, you see people doing that. So yeah, sucks. We've been taught to be ignorant. All right, hold on. You're starting to get into the depression spiral, Tenmar. You're starting to get into the doom spiral of like, the man's keeping us down. You know, I think people just are stupid. I think that's a cop-out. I think people are always like, oh, other people are keeping others down and something society. I think people have always been stupid. The average person is average and average is stupid. We are all less smart than we think. Okay, we are all more vulnerable to dumb shit than we think. Right? So I feel like, you know, one thing to not do is to look at times right now and be like, this is the worst everything has ever been, unprecedented, blah, blah, blah. Maybe some individual things are unprecedented, yeah, like individual stats. But overall, the world goes through these cycles, right? This is why history is important. This is why it's important to study history, because you look at these things, figure out how did they get out of that when this happened. Is it different because we're in a different age? Yeah, every era is different. But, you know, time is a flat circle, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. I think people have always been really dumb. Even the smartest people, you know, still have dumb moments, dumb decisions, whatever, because everyone's worldview is just a summation of whatever's gone on in their life, right? So something that makes sense in your perspective isn't going to make sense in someone else's perspective. So no one is ever going to be like always right, always able to fix everything and blah, 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 right? So, you know, just chill out, you know, buy that $70 video game and play it for 100 hours and, you know, go to the beach and go for a run, drink water, you'll be all right, you know, like obviously pay attention to the world around you, but don't get caught up in the spiral. Because I think that is the thing that's different about today than it was in the past, is the level of dooming. People have always been dooming when things are bad. They've always been lamenting. But I think with devices and technology, whatever, yeah, we're inundated with bad shit constantly. We're reminded all the time of how bad things are. And we're told things are so much worse than they are in a lot of cases. Some things are that bad, some things really aren't. Yeah, everything's amplified, right? And it just like, it's just so bad for you. It's just bad for you. And to be in a mindset to do better for yourself, you have to not be in that pool of despair, you know? You have to do your best. The people that historically did best during hard times and got themselves out of it are legitimately the ones who remained positive, the ones who did what they could within their means, the ones who tried to live their day-to-day as normally as they could, regardless of how bad things were, you know, like just taking stock of the little things around them that they're thankful for, and literally just being like that, because it kept them in a better space mentally. Yeah, you want to be cute sad, not sad, not depressed sad. You want to be cute sad. You know, so making light jokes of this stuff and like being realistic but still trying to just have a good time is good. Yeah, distract yourself with VTubers, right? That's why, you know, I'll have these conversations, but we keep it vague, right? I don't have these like depressing conversations, doom spiraling about all these specific things going on in the world. We got like a no politics, none of that kind of rule here. Because I don't want people to like sit here and be like, oh, I just got home from work, what could I do today? Let me listen to somebody doom spiral for 6 hours, you know, like, and then I'll type with them and be like, the world is fucked, and it's just too much, man. It's too much. That's like a surefire way to just like kill yourself mentally. You just absolutely lose all sense of self. You, the person in your mind, will just die off if you keep doing that shit, right? So yeah, people do it in real life too much, right? They sit around and they complain so much, and they're not wrong for what they're complaining about, but they don't stop. You know what I mean? Like, they don't get it out of themselves. They'll be like, I'm just venting, and I'll be like, all right, you just vented about this 20 times in a row for 30 minutes at a time each time. At what point are we no longer venting and we are perpetuating, right? Like, we gotta let people, not let people, we gotta stop people. Stop venting, go protest, leave me alone. Yeah, like your initial vent is totally fine, but after that, okay, so do something or don't. I don't want to hear about it, you know? And it's not like I don't want people to be able to complain, but like they already did usually, you know? And now they're just making it worse. So I don't want this space to be a spot where people show up and they're like, let me dump everything here. It's time to get all my bad feelings out. We don't do that here, because you probably already have somewhere. You probably already have. But if you haven't, okay, well, you should. And then come here and chill out, you know? So, just saying. Like, I can't tell you how much I've seen people, like, retweet things on Twitter over and over for months about the same topics. And it's not things that need more awareness a lot of the time, right? It's stuff that, like, everyone knows about, everyone feels bad about, and they're just, like, headline after headline after headline. I'm gonna make sure you see every headline, and I'm like, brother, do your initial research of a topic so that you understand what's going on in the world. If something new comes out that is very relevant and important to know and understand, okay, read that article. But like, let's stop. It's too much. It's the inundation, you know? So yeah, I unfollowed a lot of people, or you can actually, some people don't really post bad stuff, or not bad stuff, but negative stuff themselves. They only retweet negative stuff. So sometimes you want to see their posts, but you don't want to see their retweets. You can go to Twitter and you can go to somebody's profile and you can hide their retweets. This is a goated feature, because I have a lot of friends that are like artists and I want to see their art, but they retweet a fuck ton of like world news stuff, and I'm like, hey, I am not on Twitter for this. This is mine. Like, I am a VTuber on Twitter. I'm not here for this, right? So you can go to someone's profile. I'm gonna click what? It's the 3-dot menu at the top. The 3-dot menu. And the first thing that comes up is turn off reposts. And you can do this individually. Yeah, so if you want to like clean up your timeline, but you don't want to unfollow somebody, boom, it's this 3-dot menu on a Twitter profile. The top thing right there is turn off reposts. That is goated. If you have someone that you follow and they just will not stop retweeting shit that like you don't want to see, but their own posted posts are good, you can do that. But yeah, it's a nice feature. It's a really nice feature. Okay, my username is fuckhead3000, and no one's allowed to ask me why my username is fuckhead3000.